Bitcoin from Scratch, Understanding the Digital Revolution. Episode 3, How Bitcoin Works. In this episode, we will explore the process of creating new Bitcoins, known as mining, and how transactions are validated to maintain Bitcoin's decentralized network. We will also delve into how decentralization and collaboration between nodes and miners ensure the security, transparency, and efficiency of the system. Additionally, we will discuss the importance of incentives, the role of cryptographic security, and the unique aspects of Bitcoin that differentiate it from traditional financial systems. Bitcoin mining. Mining is the process by which new blocks of transactions are added to the Bitcoin blockchain. Miners use powerful computer equipment to solve complex mathematical problems, which requires a significant amount of computational power and energy. The first miner to solve the problem adds a new block to the chain and is rewarded with new Bitcoins, in addition to the transaction fees included in that block. This mechanism, known as proof of work, ensures that the creation of new Bitcoins and the validation of transactions are competitive and decentralized processes. Competition among miners is fundamental to the security of the Bitcoin network. The more miners participate, the greater the total computational power, known as hash rate, of the network, making it more difficult for an attacker to take control of the system. The Bitcoin protocol is designed to adjust the difficulty of the mining process every 2016 blocks, approximately every 2 weeks, so that the average time to mine a block is 10 minutes. This ensures a constant and predictable issuance of new Bitcoins, preventing uncontrolled inflation. This adjustment mechanism, known as the difficulty adjustment, is one of the key features that maintains the stability and security of the Bitcoin network despite fluctuations in the number of active miners. An interesting aspect of mining is the halving, an event that occurs approximately every 4 years, in which the reward for mining a new block is cut in half. This means that the number of Bitcoins generated every 10 minutes is progressively reduced, making Bitcoin an increasingly scarce asset. This deflationary approach contrasts with fiat currencies, whose supply can be increased by governments and central banks. In the case of Bitcoin, there will only be 21 million coins, which contributes to its value as a long-term store of value. The predictable scarcity of Bitcoin is one of the reasons it is often referred to as digital gold, as it shares the characteristic of being a finite resource with intrinsic value. Mining also plays an important role in the initial distribution of Bitcoins. Unlike traditional currencies, which are distributed through financial institutions and central banks, Bitcoins are distributed through the mining process. Anyone with the right equipment can participate in mining, which contributes to the decentralization of the system and ensures that there is no single issuer of coins. In addition, mining encourages the development of computational infrastructure and the use of renewable energy, as many miners seek more efficient energy sources to reduce their costs. In recent years, there has been a growing trend among miners to use renewable energy sources, such as hydroelectric, solar, and wind power, to mitigate the environmental impact of mining and increase profitability. Transaction validation. Every transaction on the Bitcoin network must be validated to ensure that the funds are legitimate and that the sender has sufficient balance. Miners group pending transactions into a block and verify their validity. To do this, miners ensure that transactions are not attempting to spend the same Bitcoin more than once, a problem known as double spending. This verification process is essential to maintain the integrity of the blockchain and ensure that the rules of the Bitcoin protocol are followed at all times. Once a block is mined and added to the blockchain, the transactions contained in it are considered confirmed. The more confirmations a transaction has, i.e., the more blocks are added after the block containing the transaction, the greater the certainty that the transaction is irreversible. Generally, a Bitcoin transaction is considered secure after receiving 6 confirmations, which takes about an hour. However, for high-value transactions, a higher number of confirmations may be expected to ensure greater security. This layered confirmation process is one of the features that makes Bitcoin an exceptionally secure payment network, as it becomes increasingly difficult to alter the transaction history with each additional confirmation. Transaction validation and network consensus are made possible by the Bitcoin protocol and the use of cryptography. Each transaction is digitally signed by the owner of the Bitcoins, and nodes verify that these signatures are valid before including them in a block. This provides a high level of security, making it extremely difficult to forge or manipulate transactions. Additionally, the blockchain structure, in which each block is cryptographically linked to the previous block, means that any attempt to manipulate it would require enormous computational power, which is practically unfeasible. This cryptographic linkage is what gives the blockchain its immutability, ensuring that historical records of transactions are preserved without alteration. Transparency is another crucial aspect of transaction validation. All information about transactions is publicly available on the blockchain, allowing anyone to audit the transaction history and verify the legitimacy of the funds. This transparency, combined with decentralization, provides an additional layer of trust and security for users of the network. Bitcoin's public ledger system is an open-source solution that fosters accountability and removes the need for intermediaries, providing users with full control over their maintaining the decentralized network. The Bitcoin network is maintained by a multitude of globally distributed nodes, each storing a complete copy of the blockchain. This decentralization ensures that there is no single point of failure and that the network is resistant to censorship and attacks. Each node plays a crucial role in verifying new transactions and blocks, ensuring that every component of the system is aligned with the rules established by the Bitcoin protocol. Bitcoin network nodes not only store a copy of the blockchain, but also verify all transactions and blocks that propagate through the network. This process ensures that only valid blocks are added to the blockchain and that all transactions are legitimate. Nodes reject any transaction or block that does not comply with the protocol rules, which helps protect the integrity of the network. This distributed verification process prevents any single entity from corrupting the ledger, making Bitcoin a highly secure and reliable decentralized system. Miners and nodes work together to validate and propagate transactions, maintaining the integrity and security of the network. Nodes verify the protocol rules, while miners handle the proof-of-work process. The participation of numerous nodes and miners contributes to the decentralization and security of the system, preventing any single entity from having absolute control over the blockchain. The collaborative relationship between miners and nodes ensures that consensus is reached in a fair and transparent manner, reinforcing the robustness of the Bitcoin network. The decentralization of the Bitcoin network also makes it resistant to censorship attacks. Unlike centralized systems, where an authority can block or reverse transactions, there is no entity with such power in Bitcoin. This makes the network particularly attractive to individuals and communities seeking a secure financial alternative beyond government or institutional control. Additionally, the Bitcoin software is open source, which means anyone can review, modify, and contribute to the development of the protocol, increasing transparency and trust in the system. The open-source nature of Bitcoin also allows for continuous innovation, as developers from all over the world can contribute to improving the technology and addressing any vulnerabilities. The resilience of the Bitcoin network is also due to its distributed nature. With thousands of active nodes around the world, the network can continue to operate even if a significant portion of the nodes goes offline. This resilience has proven crucial in situations of censorship or government restrictions, where Bitcoin has continued to operate without interruptions. Bitcoin users can transact at any time and from anywhere in the world, as long as they have internet access, making Bitcoin a powerful alternative to traditional financial restrictions. This resilience is one of the reasons Bitcoin is seen as a hedge against economic instability and political interference. Another important aspect of network maintenance is the economic incentive for miners. In addition to the Bitcoin reward, miners receive the transaction fees included in the blocks they mine. As the number of Bitcoins available for mining decreases due to halving, these fees are expected to become an increasingly important source of income for miners, ensuring they continue to participate in the network and contribute to its security. The alignment of economic incentives is a fundamental part of Bitcoin's design, ensuring that all participants, miners, nodes, and users, are motivated to uphold the integrity and security of the network. As mining rewards diminish over time, transaction fees will play a larger role in sustaining the network. This transition is expected to be gradual, allowing the Bitcoin economy to adjust and ensuring that miners remain incentivized to secure the network. This economic model is unique to Bitcoin and represents a balance between scarcity, demand, and the cost of securing the network. The foresight embedded in the Bitcoin protocol to gradually reduce rewards while increasing reliance on transaction fees highlights the sophistication of its economic design. Objective: this episode aims to provide a clear understanding of how new Bitcoins are generated and how transactions are secured and validated within the Bitcoin network, highlighting the importance of mining and decentralization in the operation of this cryptocurrency. It also seeks to highlight how Bitcoin's structure and processes contribute to the security and resilience of its network. By understanding these concepts, viewers will better appreciate why Bitcoin is considered one of the most important innovations in the financial realm in recent times. Furthermore, this episode will shed light on how Bitcoin's decentralized nature and its robust incentive structure make it a unique and potentially transformative force in global finance. Disclaimer: this content is educational in nature and does not constitute investment advice.